Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Midweek News. That's right, folks, we've made it to the 1 year mark. Let's get into it. First up, a Rust progress report in the Linux kernel. Progress is being made to make Rust a fully fledged member of the Linux language toolchain. It is believed Rust can help reduce the number of potential bugs while still playing nicely with the core kernel. Currently, 2/3 of Linux kernel security holes come from memory safety issues which highlight the weaknesses in C and C++. Sam Altman fired as CEO of OpenAI. The company's board dismissed him after it determined he, quote, was not consistently candid in his communications, unquote. Since the news, he has allegedly joined Microsoft, although rumors persist that he will rejoin OpenAI. Canonical introduces Microcloud. Even before I read the article, I've researched this a bit and watched a video or two on it. It's built on the LXD container visor, snap packaging, and has the option to use Ubuntu Core immutable distro. This is not Kubernetes. It utilizes Ceph for distributed storage, OpenZFS for local storage, and OVN to virtualize the cluster interconnect. It supports both x86-64 and ARM64, including the Raspberry Pi, and clusters can mix both architectures. Inkscape 1.3.1 released. This is mostly a bug fix release which addresses more than 30 crash freeze scenarios. It also features an improved shape builder. PDF files that could not be opened in the 1.3 version can now be opened or imported again. Available now from the official website inkscape.org for Linux, macOS, and Windows. Pineberry Pi adds NVMe storage capabilities to the Raspberry Pi 5. Pineberry Pi has introduced two products, Hat Drive Top and Hat Drive Bottom. As you may expect, one mounts above and the other mounts below the Pi board. These boards are limited to M.2 2230 and 2242 sizes. This is a nice development and finally removes the complaint that many had about not wanting to use Pi boards other than the compute model because they had relied on micro SD storage. If only the Pi 5 boards were available in larger quantities, I am still waiting on mine. Calibre 7.0 ebook manager now available. This new release introduces a new notes feature and supports audio EPUBs. It has been more than a year in development since the 6.0 version. Calibre has also gained its own private recycle bin that bypasses the operating system's trash. Available now from the official website for Linux, macOS, and Windows. It may be a few days before it's available in the package manager for your OS. Linux kernel 6.6 will be long-term support, supported until December 2026. The 6.6 kernel has been making its way into the stable software repositories of many popular distributions. Even Ubuntu users can install it now. Free and open source alternatives to Apple screen sharing. Linux Links has a list of alternatives to Apple screen sharing built into macOS. Some highlights include Remina, Rustdesk, and Vayon. Let me know if you have used any of these on your macOS system. Wireshark 4.2 is now available. Newly supported features include dark mode on Windows, Windows ARM64 installer, improved packet list sorting, MAC address lookup tool, and the big one is support for HTTP 3. Available on Wireshark.org website for Windows and macOS, and through the package managers on Linux distributions soon. If you already had it installed on macOS, you will likely have seen the notice to update already. De-crufted Windows 11 coming soon to Europe. It's a great time to be a Windows user in Europe. To comply with the EU's Digital Markets Act, Microsoft will be making a number of changes to Windows. Bing web search from Start menu and Edge browser can be uninstalled. Third parties can add to Windows widgets board feeds. Third-party search engines can provide built-in web search that Microsoft once limited to Bing, among other changes. Unfortunately, since the laws in the US and other countries trail those in the EU, the rest of us are out of luck. Microsoft is getting in on the custom chip bandwagon. Of course, this has to do with the buzzword of the year, AI. Microsoft's Azure Maya AI chip and ARM-powered Azure Cobalt CPU are arriving in 2024. Allegedly. We will see if this move brings Microsoft back to near feature parity with Amazon and Google, both of which are already leveraging custom in-house silicon in their data centers. Scaleway Ampere servers promise affordable AI smarts. The COP ARM instances are tailored to meet the demands of AI-driven applications, such as chatbots, real-time analytics, or video content analysis. They are claiming these can be delivered for a fraction of the cost of other solutions. Time will tell on these claims, as they have yet to disclose pricing. Frigate NVR users will soon be able to access custom AI models with Frigate Plus service. Frigate is a complete local NVR designed for Home Assistant with AI object detection. Can optionally make use of a Google Coral accelerator, which will allow for processing of more than 100 frames per second with little overhead. Frigate Plus models are now rolling out by invitation. If you're a Frigate user, head over to GitHub and grab the email address to contact. This is intended for beta users. I will definitely be keeping my eye on this project. Windows 10 to let admins control optional update deployment. This is specifically an option for Windows 10 Enterprise. It can be configured as a group policy object or configuration service provider policy to choose how preview releases will be delivered via Windows updates for business. For the gamers out there, Steam Deck OLED is now available to order with HDR display and a bigger battery. The two new OLED models are available in 512GB and 1TB storage options. The new version features an updated wireless chip supporting 2.4, 5, and 6 GHz, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, and USB Type-C port with DisplayPort 1.4 that's capable of up to 8K at 60 Hz or 4K at 120 Hz. The device is still powered by Valve's Arch Linux-based SteamOS 3 featuring the KDE Plasma desktop environment. The older LCD-based Steam Deck will be available while supplies last. Handbrake 1.7 release with AMD VCN AV1 and NVIDIA NVENC AV1 encoders. Arriving nearly a year after the 1.6 release, there are a lot of goodies packed into this new version. For Linux users, the 1.7 release adds a new option to pause encoding when switching to battery power or when power save is activated, among other changes. Performance has also improved for ARM64 architectures. Handbrake 1.7 is available for Linux as a flat pack, as well as being available for macOS and Windows. Proton Mail and Blockchain. The new feature available to Proton Mail users is heralded as blockchain in a very pure form, not to be confused with crypto. While the folks at Proton are saying that this may not be ready for, quote, everyday users, unquote. If you're listening to this, you may want to participate in the testing. And last but not least for this week, Apple to add RCS support to iPhone next year. This was a surprise to nearly everyone. An Apple spokesperson said the company believes RCS will offer better interoperability for cross-platform messages. Apple is full of surprises lately, considering their recent move to adopt USB-C on the iPhone 15. And that, my friends, will bring us to the end of another Midweek News and the close of the first year of episodes. Due to travel plans this weekend, I do not currently have plans to do a live stream on Sunday. If this changes, you will find an update on the community tab. Thank you for all your support of this news program over the course of the last year. I look forward to bringing you news highlights going forward. The show must go on. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe and consider a YouTube membership. There's also a Patreon option if memberships are not available to you. Have a safe and happy holiday weekend, everybody. I'll see you next week.